All right, hello everyone, and welcome to Metaphor ReFantazio. This is the new game by the Persona team. It's directed by Hashino Katsura, and I believe developed technically by Studio Zero is the name of the group. Published by Sega and Atlus. I'm really excited for this. This is a fantasy RPG. Done in, the style of Persona. It seems really good, and I've been looking forward to it for months, years, I guess. I guess is the best best descriptor. I know almost nothing about this game.
Prologue of Metaphor ReFantazio. What we have to offer you is but a taste of the story from its beginning. But through it, your experience will mirror the full version. Should you wish it, you may carry over your save data to the full version. We thank you for expressing your curiosity about our tale of fantasy.
Okay, well, yes, we intend on doing that. So, we will play through the game, play through the demo, have this go live, and then we'll pick up the game when it comes out. I'm very excited about this. I'm repeating myself. Let's play the game. I'm very excited about this game.
I trust this will suffice.
God smiles upon the generous.
Oh, away with you! Back to your cesspit, beggar! A land grotesque as its people. You dreamt of utopia. You saw the tribes united as one.
Oh.
That dream died long ago. You should have done the same. Your kingdom will perish alongside you. By my hand.
I cannot fathom it. His Majesty killed in his own bed.
The blooms upon the prince's grave had yet to wilt. Without an heir to wear the crown, what will become of the royal magic?
Thus vulnerable, an invasion might undo us.
From within or without, the state hangs on a precipice. It may even come to civil war.
In dark times, we must stand together.
Your Eminence.
Who could do this? Few could even enter the king's chambers, let alone draw close. And yet,
His Majesty's arcane power could deflect near any blade. With all the royal bloodline's magic, who could harm him at all?
shadows stir in the castle just as they did with the prince. What hellbound soul could end a royal life? Who would dare such atrocity? Huh?
Luis.
A shame to die with no heirs. The prince was taken too soon. And only a king may wield the royal scepter, the very crux of his vaunted bloodline's magic, which made such a fine deterrent to war. One has to ask, them dead, who shall take the throne?
Here begins the demo prologue of Metaphor ReFantazio. What we have to offer you is but a taste of the story from its beginning. But through it, your experience will mirror the full version. Should you wish it, you may carry over your save data to the full version. We thank you for expressing your curiosity about our tale of fantasy.
Who's there? I can feel you watching me from a place beyond my sight. Whoever you are, please tell me. Does our world pique your interest? Pardon my curiosity, but would you tell me your name? That is to say, tell me who you really are. The one who meets my eyes across a strange threshold.
Is it doing a Panzer Dragon? Toaster. My name is indeed Toaster. You will name the protagonist later. Okay, thank God.
Ah, a most unusual name. One I've never heard in our world. Which suggests to me you might reside in a world beyond ours. It is a curious thing that in your eyes, my entire world is but the dawn of a story yet untold. Or to put it another way, this is a fantasy. But can it truly be dismissed as something so far removed from you? If indeed you wish to cross to our world for a time, I would first ask that you indulge one question. Is fantasy limited to the confines of imagination? Would you call it a powerless creation?
No, no way. Not always.
More than wishful thinking, more than fiction. Something capable of affecting the realities beyond its bounds. This must be what you believe. I confess, my own answer still eludes me. But consider, if fantasy is born from hope, a desire to make the world better than it is, then that hope can be made manifest. Thus does change come, and thus is fantasy forged into a new reality. Perhaps the story about to unfold before you will tell us. I'm thoroughly invested now myself, so let this tale begin.
I can't select Regicide. Okay. I see you, game. I see what you're saying. There we go. Who do I want? What do I want to play on? Hard mode? I'm always nervous about doing higher difficulties on JRPGs because normally it just makes it more tedious, and if I'm gonna grind, you know, like, and become all powerful, like, what's the point? We'll just do hard. It's fine. We'll do hard. Sure. I'm ready. Living on the edge. I'm gonna need to turn the music volume down because it's excruciatingly loud.
Looks like we're in the clear. The capital's just through this desert.
Who are you?
Is it true then? The king is dead? Aye, and the guards are more concerned with the funeral than keeping the roads safe. So now the monsters are roaming in broad daylight. No soldiers to stop them.
Monsters, huh? I've certainly been hearing the stories.
To say nothing of the vacant throne. There's a storm coming. Mark my words. That much is certain.
What's the problem?
They're bandits!
Come on, let's see some respect for the militia! Us folk, we're commoners. No crown or church will save us.
But Lord Luis will save us one and all. All we ask is a little tribute. You're with us or against us? And if you're against us...
An igniter? How'd they get one of those?
Come on, hey, keep it moving. Hurry it up. Next one. Huh? Look at you. What have we got here? He's an elder.
So he is. No horns, no knife ears.
Filthy gremlin like you. What you got in the capital?
Oh, I see.
What's this? Looks like you've been holding out on us, boy.
He's this game's version of a human, I guess.
Hold it! Should have listened to us, chum. Now fall in line! Unless you want to get stuck like us.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's go, elf girl. Do 'em deedlit style. Let's go.
You drew steel. I take it you are prepared to die by it.
Stand aside!
That voice actor sounds familiar. Who is that?
Ugh, this place already feels like a death trap. You hear all that stuff about Lord Louis saving us? Hey, you okay? You still got all your limbs attached? Well, at least they didn't figure out our mission. Definitely could have gone worse.
Are you alright?
Are you alright?
Been worse.
Oh my god.
And from the sounds of it, you're about the same. You do know that if anyone finds out who we really are, it's all over, right?
The main character has a is voice acted. What? Does that mean the new Persona is gonna have a voice acting? Oh my god, there's a lore book. Magic Igniters, a tool that acts as a conduit for magic power without which people cannot perform magic. To own or use them, one must obtain a permit from the kingdom by passing a test. With some exceptions, such as those serving in the state army, igniters can be costly depending on power and specifications, and purchasing them is akin to buying land or housing. Gauntlet Runner. Often called runners as shorthand, a general term for magic-powered semi-automated vehicles designed for traversing the wastelands, and either overcoming or circumventing local wildlife threats and magical phenomena. Traveling the wilds on foot, or even in a lightly armed carriage, has historically been incredibly dangerous, making any long-distance trips a life-threatening risk. Sanctism. A monotheistic religion devoted to the worship of the one God, the Almighty. The religion of majority across the United Kingdoms. Its sanctors preach that uttering the prayer Closere with one's whole heart will reach God, bringing salvation. It is the state religion, and the Sanctist hierarchy is deeply intertwined with the kingdom's politics. Currently, the crown theocracy is at the heart of the kingdom's political affairs. Can I... Options menu. Oh no, do not tell me that skipped. Oh, it skipped.
Think we'll make it?
You don't look hurt though, so that's good news. You can move, right? I'm thinking we should find a place where we can see the whole area. Use moving keys to move, hold RT while moving to dash, press B to dodge enemy attacks. Some actions you can perform and their corresponding controls are displayed at the bottom of the screen. You can also use the minimap to see which way to go. You can view tutorials you've seen before in the main menu.
Let's go.
Alright, I might end up resetting what we're doing because BGM volume was way too fucking high. Those will go down to there. Okay, good. That has the right... Interesting. Does that make the game look any better? Kind of. Not meaningfully. Okay, maybe it didn't skip. Maybe that was just the last... maybe that was just the last of it, so maybe I won't restart. Wait, I'm sensing something close. Don't move. Alright, that's horrifying.
Watch out!
Yeah, those look especially dangerous, so watch out. I don't think they've noticed us yet, though. Far sight. Or phase sight. Use left trigger to use phase sight. This ability lets you see what Gallica senses in the environment. When you see an enemy you've never confronted before, it will show up as unknown. Prepare as best as you can. Alright, okay, so that's a dodge.
They look pretty tough.
Oh my god.
I'm right here.
Okay, well that almost fucking killed me. What is going on?
Come and get me.
Alright, I'm a little baby man, and I can't take hits or do damage. So we'll just avoid that. And try not to die to the gigantic tiger enemies that want to kill us. Bye. Okay, well.
Look. Just checking, but you do remember what we're here to do, right?
Refresh my memory.
Right. What am I doing again?
Oh, I don't know. The mission that's more important than our own lives? First, we get to the royal capital and get you enlisted as a guardsman at the army's recruitment center. This could decide the fate of the whole country. We either do our jobs or we die. And if it's all the same to you, I'd rather stay alive. So we've got to see this mission through. Come on. We don't want the sun to go down on us in the wastes. Let's pull ourselves together and get back on the road. You know what they say. Anxiety breeds the world's cruelest monsters. I mean, fairies say that at least. I can at least cast my usual spell for you. It's the small comforts, right?
Right.
It's as though music is playing directly in my mind. The effect of Gallica's magic is inspiring.
Music was the first magic this world ever knew, after all. Makes the road a little easier. Look! Over there!
That's a road over there. What a relief. Grand Trad is already in sight.
Let's go.
Almost there. Let's keep moving and try to stay out of sight. Alright. Now that I can actually hear the BGM. Is this still audible to everyone? Also, I just checked in another Let's Play, and we didn't skip any actual dialogue. I just pressed the skip button on the last dialogue of the last thing in the box there. All right, I'm gonna turn the music up to about here. If it drowns out the voices, please let me know, because I literally can't tell because the mix is really loud in my headphones. But yeah, I just checked a playthrough, so we didn't actually end up skipping any of the cutscene. It just looked like we did because I pressed start to open the pause menu and it skipped. Okay. There's no jump button. Medicinal herb. Ooh. Definitely take some of those so that I don't die in a single hit.
If it's useful, I say grab it.
And I don't think I can really hurt anything. I'll try fighting a dog. I don't know if it's worth it. No, hyenas. Not worth fighting the hyenas. Uh-oh, this is bad.
Not good. Run for it.
This land of 8 tribes and 3 nations, all blessed by the power of magic. The United Kingdom of Uchronia. The year is 785. Uchronia is shaken to the core by the sudden death of its king. Anxiety breeds dissent among the tribes. Disparities tear them apart, and no mortal mind remembers the heroic tales upon which their land was built. by this story of fantasy, may this faded world be painted anew.
Oh, great seeker, bearer of fantasy empowered. Is this a real cipher? Could I read this? Hear my wish and come forth from thy epoch of glory to grant me thy guidance. I think it is a real cipher. I think that's an actual alphabet. Hey, Kratos, welcome. I'm doing well. Just playing some Metaphor. Excited for this game.
Just look.
Whoa.
Get on with it, then! Drop the dog! Hang him dead! Please! I've done nothing wrong! Lying dog! Don't try to deny it! You trample the law for the fun of it!
Let it be known, for misuse of an igniter, you will hang by the neck until dead!
Yeah!
Wow, they straight up killed him.
There's no way that crowd was going to listen to anything a Paribus said.
Such a shame. Might you spare some coin? Bless you. Oh,
careful!
Hurry!
Don't you have any street smarts? Come on, kid! Look, we're not tourists here. We gotta stay focused.
Right.
You noticed back on the wagon? You might be the only Elder here, in the whole city even.
This is fascinating. I really like this setting. This setting is really strange and unique.
The capital's incredible. Just look at all the different tribes. You never see this kind of diversity out in the countryside. Not that it's very balanced. I see more Clamars and Roussants than anyone else. Which means a dopey Elder kid's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. Try to keep your head down, okay?
Hey, did you hear what they're saying about His Majesty? They say it wasn't illness at all. I heard it was foul play, assassination.
Shh, careful who hears you say that.
But it's just like the prince, isn't it? They say he was attacked in the dead of night. A war of succession is coming, I tell you.
Sounds like monsters have been prowling the countryside. They're sending the guard out to deal with them. The army's really gone to hell. It's a far cry from when we had Count Luis at the helm, I'll tell you that much.
Hard to see how the nation can come back from this.
We'd not have to ask if the prince was still alive.
The king dead, his son stricken. Are there none left to bear the weight of the crown?
Okay, we got a whole bunch of new things. We'll read those after.
We've done all in our power, but not even the kingdom's best. The saint could purify this affliction.
Over 10 years he has languished under this curse. How much longer can his body hold out? No doubt His Highness would protest. But since he cannot, we have no choice. For the man who cursed His Highness and murdered our king, there can be no mercy. I never thought I would have to ask this of you. But there are so few of us left now. There is no one else to turn to. Will you infiltrate the military to deliver a message to our contact there? This is your mission. For all our sakes, you cannot fail.
This looks great.
Hey, are you listening? Well, I guess I can't blame you for feeling nostalgic. You and the prince were pretty close. Anyway,
we were roommates.
Getting to the capital was only the beginning. Now comes the real high-stakes part. You gotta go get enlisted so you can meet up with our operative. Remember, nobody here knows who we are. Nobody here knows the prince might still have a claim to the throne. That means if we get busted, that's it. Nobody's gonna save us. Step 1. Let's figure out where the recruitment center is. Shouldn't be too hard, considering the need for soldiers. So?
Do you know where we're going? Feel free to admit that you're lost and ask me for advice. What to know in town? Press right bumper to open the local map. If you're unsure of what to do, try pressing Y. Gallica always has good ideas, or so she thinks. I can save in town. Alright, first things first. Slap a save down. Second things second. I'm gonna futz around with the graphic settings and see how hard I can push this game without my computer exploding. Oof. That's running at... Let's check that frame rate. About 30 FPS. Wow. Wowee. Yeah, that's probably why. I was seeing people complain about like, oh no, the performance isn't great. I guarantee you that's why. Because they're running it at 2 times 200% scale at 4K. Still, 30 FPS, playable for a JRPG. That's not how I'm going to play it. That would be unfathomable. But it is cool to see that. Oh, we get that buttery smooth 60. Locked, baby. Look at that. I can probably up it a little bit. Let's check. I know this is so boring for all of you all, but it's fun for me to see what I can make happen here. Yeah, I probably have to turn it down just a little bit. It doesn't make too much of a graphical difference to render at that resolution. So, all right, I've decided 100%. We're good. Just lock that at 60. Keep the temperature in my room down. The Magla accumulator. We really are in the capital now. Oh, the king died, so what? Worry not, we have Sanctifex Fordin on our side.
That's terrible. But what is there to do now?
That was no ordinary animal. There were traces of something gargantuan crawling about after all. So many rumors concerning monsters in the wasteland. Why? It's all you hear about these days.
That's not what I expected.
True, but I read about them in Julian's book. It claims there aren't any near the royal capital. What did they say? What was that last word? It just moved on. These people are not animated. Pure NPC status. Just set dressing.
Let's go see.
We don't have time for detours right now. If you're lost, check your map. Just go straight down the main street and you should find the recruitment center.
All right then.
Neat.
Well met, eh?
Too bad I'm trying to figure stuff out. Here we are, Grand Trad. Frankly, I don't have good things to say for how Parapus are treated here. Priapus, very different. We don't know, we don't need you telling us. We got attacked by a monster in our hometown. We had no choice but to come here. Regardless of how we're treated here, we gotta make it work.
Just can't stand it.
Until a few years ago, gauntlet runners used to park here in this carriage parking area. Looking at them was the only thing I looked forward to, but nowadays there's a ban on them or something. Looking at runners was the only thing I looked forward to. Interesting.
If I had a gauntlet runner.
Oh, the last word was just yet. Okay. You have to believe me. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. A monster was attacking town, and come now, if any of that were true, the army would have already been dispatched. Enough with your daft stories. You probably just got spooked by a wild dog and mistook it for a monster. A normal man would have just moved on, yet here you are harping on about it.
Let's go see.
What is this? These air filters? Particle generators, just for graphics reasons?
Whatever will I do? Ugh, come on.
Ah, it's an Elda. Why is one of your kind here in Grand Trad? I have business here. Silence. Sanctism teaches us that the Elder are an evil tribe that defy the teaching, so get back. Stay away from me, you fiend. Devilish magic, she says. If you were so magical, I doubt you'd have it so hard in life. She's aggravating, but let's not cause a scene. The portraits are freaking incredible. They look so good. It reminds me of like Tactics Ogre a little bit. Oh, that reminds me. We have the lore entries to read. All right, magic. A general term for the technique that consumes power to cause phenomena that bend the laws of nature. It has a wide range of applications from modest use in daily life to destructive power in war. However, as magic igniters, which require a state permit for ownership and use, are required for people to be able to use magic, many cannot wield magic. Music and magic. An unusual variety of magic that causes the listener to become aware of their state of mind through the form of sound and music. As it is a modest form of magic with seemingly no utility on the battlefield, it is considered a meaningless, trifling skill in society and thus is rarely used. The Kingdom of Uchronia. A union of allied kingdoms. Spans the Kingdom of Uchronia, the Principality of Oceania, and the Principality of Montario. Uchronia being the suzerain, with its king holding authority over all three kingdoms. The original king, Hythlodaeus, was this United Nations' first ruler and often referred to as the founder king. Royal capital, Grand Trad. The nation's largest city, a capital of both the Kingdom of Uchronia and the United Kingdoms at large, also referred to as the royal capital, being the home of the palace and seat of royal bloodline, known for its solid ramparts, a site which has long been emblematic of the city itself. However, when the massive regolith Grand Cathedral was built, the building's grandeur became a new symbol of Grand Trad. Alright, Elda tribe. The ninth tribe. Okay, so there are 8 other tribes. Interesting. Distinct from the commonly known 8 tribes, they are condemned by the Sanctus Church for inheriting a dangerous magic heretical to the teachings of the Church. Their population is so small that to even see one in public is rare, and they face greater discrimination than any other tribe. In fact, many outside the main cities don't believe they exist. Claymar tribe. Claymar tribe composes the largest population in all the allied kingdoms. Their most distinctive features are the horns which grow on both sides of their head. Claymars have broad diversity of facial and body types, which has essentially made them average. The Uchronian royal family are Claymar, and members of this tribe hold a majority of important positions within the government, leading many Claymars to internalize the belief that they are the kingdom's most preeminent tribe. Rusant tribe. One of the most populous tribes of the United Kingdom, second only to Claymar. Long pointed ears are their most distinguishing feature. They often boast excellent physiques, which has given them superior martial prowess. Rusant women are stronger than most men of other tribes. Many inevitably work in the military and often hold key offices. They are considered as influential as the Claymar, and the 2 tribes are sometimes called the prevailing tribes. Interesting. So this is like the Elizin. Oh my god, there are multiple pages. Oh, I'm such a fool. Eldas. Each of the 8 tribes possess unique physical traits, making them recognizable at a glance, such as Claymar's horns or Rusant's long ears. The Elda tribe, however, bears no such distinguishing feature, and thus are regarded as inferior beings. Claymars value freedom and dislike illogical restraint. They enjoy cultivating discussion, but do not always consider the situation or appropriateness of doing so, which occasionally leads to conflict. However, some studies suggest this disposition is what drives them to seek governmental positions and other important offices. Many Rusant pride themselves on outperforming others in strength. While this can be perceived as self-disciplined competitiveness, on the flip side, there are many with a belligerent temperament, obsessed with proving superiority in any situation. Yeah, so these are really like the Final Fantasy elves, like the elves from Final Fantasy 11 and 14. The Elizin and the Elvon. That vice versa, I guess, technically. Very interesting. Parapus tribe. A tribe recognizable by bestial ears and a tail. There are many variations in their hair and skin colors, including cold-colored skin not seen in other tribes. They are physically adept and often honest with their emotions, giving them a reputation for hedonism, for better or for worse. They are drawn to parties and festivities, and while this happy-go-lucky charm is often to their credit, it can be seen as recklessness. Due to this stereotype, they are looked down upon by other tribes, which prevents them from securing a foothold in politics despite being nearly as populous as the Rusant and Claymar tribes. The discrimination against them is especially obvious in large cities. Prince of Uchronia, the son and heir to the throne of King Hythlodaeus V. More than 10 years ago, a mysterious attack in the royal palace left him afflicted with a deadly curse. The curse took its toll on his body, and though he bravely endured treatment, his recovery was interrupted several years later when he and his closest aides suddenly vanished from the castle without a trace. The king exhausted all possible means to find him, but was ultimately unsuccessful. He was formally declared deceased 3 years ago, and a royal funeral was held in his honor. Gallica, a fairy who accompanies traveling boy on his journey, doubling as his chaperone for his special mission. Her diminutive size excludes her from participating physically in battles, but her special fairy traits allow her more proficiency than traveling boy when it comes to sensing magla, known as magic. And knowing magic. Sorry, my brain just filled in a gap there. Though she can become heated when her personal values are tested, she is a reassuring travel companion. The expanse, okay, so magic igniters. The expense is so great, buying more than one igniter would be difficult even with the entire lifetime income of the average commoner. In order to prevent accidents and crime, the Crown Theocracy and the Magic Association have exclusive production rights of igniters. Unauthorized production is considered a serious offense. The time needed to cast magic depends on the user's skill, but can also be slightly impacted by the capabilities of the igniter itself. While using an igniter while sedentary poses little problem, activating an igniter while moving is difficult and thus is advised to use them cautiously. Gauntlet Runner. As cities and countries grew, so too did demand for resources, many of which required transport in large quantities. The Gauntlet Runners filled the niche of an armed, sturdy vehicle that could help with transport and land development. There are smaller runners roughly the size of an armed carriage with a simple deck addition, but it's more common to see models that walk on legs with an internal living area comparable to a modest house. Legs are more common in their design than wheels, partly because of their versatility on all manner of difficult terrain, but more so because adopting the remains and skeletons of large monsters as is more cost-effective and stronger than artificially creating all the components necessary. Alright. What's over here?
Damn.
We're not going to war, are we? Count Louis isn't even in Grand Chad.
Simply amazing.
Look over there and you can see the Royal Palace. No, wait, that's not right. That's where the Grand Cathedral is. At least I assume so, since it's off the main street. Seems to me sanctism is the really privileged thing around here, even more so than the monarchy.
So you?
Parapus woman. An Elda, huh? Pretty unusual in these parts. Oh, not trying to be rude, just mind yourself. The city ain't the friendliest to us inferiors. Appreciate the advice. Yeah, be careful, or they'll get you too, just like all us Parapus. Oh no, I don't want to go down there. I don't want to change the area yet.
Damn.
Look at that. The new model's out now. I could be out there slinging spells like a master if I had one of those.
I guess that's the big city for you. Everyone and their mother has a magic igniter. So many different types, too.
Now I want one.
Now I want one for myself.
Yeah, until you see the price tag.
I guess I don't need to read out his dialogue. I'm just in Let's Player mode. But if he has a voice actor, hell yeah.
Can't imagine what it's like having to wave around some shiny stick to use magic. Me? I can whip out magic anytime I like. And I can even see the Magla in the air. Though, I'm not exactly an archmage.
Wonders never cease. A fairy and an Elden child. Are you new to our fair city? Well, I suggest you keep a low profile. Trust me when I say you don't want to catch the eyes of the lords and ladies. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I run this humble shop. Are you in the market for an igniter? Here's something that might catch a foreigner's eye. This is modeled after the royal scepter and would make the perfect souvenir.
The Royal Scepter?
The Royal Scepter?
Did it again.
You've really never heard of it. Wow. Where do I even start?
A symbol and instrument of the crown's sovereignty. Passed down through generations. If you believe the legends, it houses incredible magic. World-shattering power. More practically, you might call it the world's most potent magic igniter. And in the king's hands, it was enough of a deterrent to stave off invasion.
Now he's dead, with no living heir either.
Tragic, isn't it? Kingly magic is of little use without a king. You picked a bad time to visit, boy. I don't know why you're here, but there's trouble brewing.
Won't be staying long. Interesting. It's interesting, like, the choices that you get here. Like, you can, I mean, obviously these choices probably don't impact anything, but, like, you can just be like, okay, or straight up, I'm not gonna stay here. It's just an interesting dichotomy of, like, the range that you get to play with.
Oh, I don't think I'll be here long.
A word of caution, then. Your survival is your own responsibility.
Well, that was unnecessarily ominous. She has a point, though. We'll need to be careful. Anyway, we don't have time to hang around chatting with the locals. We've got a recruitment office to find.
Let's head there.
What's new in the memorandum? Magla, a technical term for magic power that serves as the basis for magic. There are varying amounts in all things found in nature, including people, plants, and animals. Because magla sometimes crystallizes in areas of high concentration, some scholars theorize that magla may be physical particles too small to be seen with the naked eye. Okay, so that's what those injector thingies were, I guess. Royal Scepter. An ornate, cane-like scepter passed down through the generations of the Ukrainian royal family, proof of their right to rule. A magical instrument of extraordinary capabilities powerful enough to induce natural disasters. It can only be wielded by the king. In the popularly termed royal magic, it commands serves as both as a pillar of the king's authority and deterrent to war. Consequently, any king of Ukrainia must be well versed in magic, and the boon of the royal lineage is not enough to ensure succession to the throne. Historically, there have been many cases where an offshoot member of a prince's family has become king, when the bloodline's most direct inheritor was judged not to have enough magical aptitude to truly wield the royal scepter. Royal magic. Powerful magic passed down through generations of Ukrainian kings, invoked through a unique magic igniter called the Royal Scepter. It has tremendous power that can bring about anything the king desires. There are several records of its use in the long history of the kingdom, be it for revolutionary or oppressive aims, but each is described as a cataclysmic disaster. It continues to represent a strong deterrent power to the royal family and the kingdom. I like this. I like the lore book. I joined the army because I looked up to Lord Louis, but now I get my arse handed to me if I so much as mention it. What's the state army going to do now? We won't find any decent recruits given the messy state of things currently. Now, I'm trying to make sure, are these areas I can listen in on? Yes. The royal funeral for His Majesty the King will be held at the Grand Cathedral. Naturally, His Eminence Forden will be in attendance as well. You may gather at the Grand Cathedral on the day of the event. Alright, so whenever we see these, it means people are talkable. I like the UI. The UI is good. Nobody expected His Majesty's passing. There's no heir either. The Sanctus Church had him wrapped around their finger. He was good as dead to begin with. My concern is how the annexed countries will react when they discover the royal bloodline is no more. I hope we can avoid a civil war.
Leave it out, mate.
Oh boy. I was hoping that we'd blend in with the crowd and no one would notice that you're an Elda, but the people here have sharper eyes than I thought. We don't want to draw attention, but hiding your tribe is only going to make it worse. People may insult you, but do your best to stand tall. Easier said than done, I'm sure, but it's for the sake of the mission. And on that note, the recruitment center we're looking for should be just ahead.
What are you playing at?
All right, what's over here? What are you? Hello, Mikolash. Young man, might I interest you in our shop's wares? This is no ordinary Mustari shop.
Sorry.
Oh, we're actually in the middle of something. We've got something to do at the recruitment center. The recruitment center, if you're lost, it's a large building down the street and to the left. Stop by when you have time. I do business here all the time, so if you're in the area, do stop by. Neat.
I'm out of ideas.
When I heard that His Majesty had been killed, I could hardly believe my ears. But he was a man indifferent to festivities. His death will not cause any disruptions. As long as we have His Eminence Sanctifex Forden, this country will be safe.
Excellent.
Rumor has it Forden will become the next king, but the decision is a ways off yet. It's the duty of all Ishkia to guide the ignorant masses. I agree. There's no future more dismal than having a Rog as a ruler. What does that mean?
Amazing.
Oh my.
I keep trying to jump like it's... Wow, he is huge.
That's wrong, though.
Where are you going? That's not the way to the recruitment center. Okay, it's really railroading me, so I gotta stop putting it off.
Wrong, though.
Isn't that it? Isn't that the recruitment center right there?
Come off it.
What? Or is it this? It's this. Okay.
Dear me.
That must be the recruitment center. I'll let you take it from here. It should be pretty straightforward. Oh, and if they start asking questions, just be as honest as you can. Lying will only make us more suspicious. So long as you don't compromise the mission, you're fine. Good luck in there. Knock 'em dead. Okay, you got this.
A blue blood, are you? The army's no place for velvet-swaddled lordlings. Why are you here? Perhaps your noble family collapsed under its own weight. Is that it?
Lineage seems a strange measure for a soldier's worth. I'm looking to enlist. Is that enough for you or not?
An uppity one, aren't you? Fine, lordling. Welcome to the Guard, where it'll be your privilege to die screaming and bloody in service of your country. But mark my words, war will turn your arrogance to piss. When your corpse is plucked from the mud, do try to look patriotic.
Rousing words, Captain. You think threats will buy loyalty? No wonder nobody respects the Guard anymore. But I'm here now, so perhaps the kingdom isn't a lost cause.
Insolent pup! You will learn your place.
Don't. The healers have enough on their plates already.
Be gone, and be thankful you're still in one piece. All right, next. Hurry it up. An elder? I thought your kind was long gone. Age 18. An orphan, too. The army can always use more of those. So, what brings you to enlist?
I want to fight for change. I need the money.
I need the money.
Pragmatic, if nothing else. But I suppose a vagrant like you could use the work. So, what can you bring to our beloved corps? Any skills to speak of?
Oh fuck. This is building our character. What matters in SMT? Strength, Dex, Vit, Agi, Luck. Oh, just luck govern crits in this game. If this is like a... Okay, hold on. I'm gonna Google this. I'm gonna see. What do we think? Let's look. Maybe it will be I'm small but quick. Aji's always good. Strength is usually good in a Shin Megami Tensei game because physical is always the best. But this game is closer to Persona, I think, where everyone has a stand. So I think agility is going to be really beneficial for us in general because it will also probably reduce hit rate.
I'm small, but quick.
Yes, I could see that. Always the cowards who run the fastest, eh? Right, last order of business. Make your mark or sign your name if you're actually literate.
Ultimate Gamer says, luck might be the best. Luck is accuracy, if I remember correctly. So in most Shin Megami Tensei games, luck is status accuracy. So if you cast poison on someone, it will tell you the like effect rate of the poison. Shin Megami Tensei 4 is slightly different because I believe luck also affects criticals in that game, and it can give you high smirk, which is a mechanic, but... What should we name this kid? I don't know what the characters in this game are like named. I don't know what the rest of the cast is, so I have to figure it out. It seems like most of the names are like French or maybe German. Or maybe like Italian. So like what's like an Italian sounding cool name? Maybe I don't know. I think I'm gonna name him Tilo, because that sounds fun, right? Sure, Tilo. He's Tilo. That was...
You know your letters, do you? We'll get some use out of you yet.
That was just the first Germany's sort of European sounding name I could think of because I just watched the second season of Cleo, which is a really good spy drama, and it has a character named Tilo in it.
All right, lad. Welcome to the Guard.
Yes!
I'm sure you heard about the monster sightings, so stay sharp out there. We're short-handed as it is, so be a good lad and try not to get killed on your first deployment. You can pick up your kit at reception. Standard issue guardsman armor and igniter. Kingdom property. So if you break it, it's coming out of your commission. On your way now. Up to. Next!
What a long line. Guess we've got no choice but to wait our turn.
Whatever.
You're so young. Are you enlisting too? Well, not much choice if you don't have money or a job. Reeve makes the world go round, as it were. You want a magic igniter? Join the queue. Cutting's only going to get you chewed out. They said tribe don't matter in the army, but they'll probably put me up in front as a meat shield. Not that I can find better work. Wish I could serve Count Louis. His army's built on merit, so even a parapet stands a chance. Blast it. I came to enlist because I heard you can make a quick Reeve here, but they really make you work alongside creepy Elda? Parapets I can deal with, but Elda are very ominous. Quit your gawking. Why, I could tell a guard you looked at me funny and you'd be marched all the way to the gallows before you could blink. And don't think anyone would care what Nelda has to say. You'd hang, so better shape up. Let him say what he wants. Fighting someone like him would be a waste of energy.
Whoa.
You enlisting as well? The line starts behind me, if so, or was there something you needed? Are you really a noble? I take it you overheard my interview? Yes, guilty as charged. I am a noble. But just a countryside son of a lord. My family is of no real consequence.
Well,
let's just say I have my own circumstances. I'm volunteering to fight in order to protect the kingdom, foolish or not.
I heard they get sightings.
what? Of those huge monsters? You think that's why we're low on soldiers? Wish they'd have told us that. What did they call them? Something like, human...
Next! Another Clamar. Wait, no. You don't look like the others. Surely not. An elder? It's the first of your kind I've seen.
Move it. There's a priority around here. We're arming squires and children with igniters now. Waste of good gear. It's better off in my hands. Give it here.
Brute force and crude insults. The world is yours for the taking.
Care to say that again, boy?
We all have our reasons to enlist. Now get back in line.
Oh, another high and mighty Clamar, is it? You think your pretty words will measure up to pure Rousseau strength?
Oh, forget the tribes. This is a matter of pride. Now, you owe us both an apology.
Come on, no fighting in the ranks.
Sorry for making a scene. You all right?
Thanks.
Thanks. You didn't have to do that.
Just felt like stepping in. Don't worry about it. Well, see you around. Try not to die out there.
Don't make my job any harder, please. Here, your igniter. These days, most come with their own magna crystals. So with practice, anyone can use magic. To an extent, anyway. It's not the sort of thing you can master in a day. For now, newbies like you best focus on surviving.
The thing around his neck is apparently a magic emitter, or igniter. The captain I spoke with earlier had one too. They must take on many different forms like I saw on the main street.
And take this too. Protect it with your life.
Wow, that's a real map. It's dangerous to even chart the wilds, but this is full of details. Only the military could pull this together.
Listen up, striplings. My name is Captain Klinger. And as of this moment, you miserable lot are under my command. I'm sure you've all heard about our forces being tied up with the funeral proceedings for His Majesty. But if you think you're on cushy security detail, think again. First, you will be deployed to a fortress at the northern border, where you will be trained into true guards. Our veterans there will teach you the one thing you need to master if you're to survive. Pain.
Perfect. That's exactly where our contacts hold up.
Enjoy tonight's sleep, because it's the last full night's rest you'll get. Dismissed!
Look at all the other recruits. They really are desperate for new blood. Oh, right. I know you don't know what our contact looks like yet, but he'll know you by your sword. He'll also know right away why we've come. And don't worry, I'll recognize him. Well, the charming captain is probably right. We should get some rest before tomorrow. Hey. You awake?
Morning already? Interesting.
Is it morning already?
Does it look like morning? Look, I just have a lot on my mind. Can't seem to fall asleep. I'd heard about what it was like in the capital, but still. When you hear and see all this prejudice out in the open, it's a lot. You okay?
That's just how it is.
Well, I don't think that should be how it is. Some people are even saying it's the lesser tribe's fault that the monsters are showing up at all. These are the same kind of people who burned down your village, remember?
I'd rather not think about it.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. I'll drop it. The prince was kind to take you in. He cared more about who you were than what you were. I can see why you'd want to repay him. Oh, speaking of, he's the one who gave you that book, right? Can I see it?
Sure, I guess.
I gotta say, I've been curious. Thanks.
Ah.
It's what you call a fantasy story, right? So it's a fantasy world made up by the author. The prince loved those kinds of stories. Okay, let's see. It says the young traveler was amazed by the world he saw. In this world, there is only one tribe. All people accept each other, and no soul is born into discrimination. Wow. So not even any fairies? I guess less differences means less to argue over. In such a world, there is no need for sorcery. A megapolis is built through learning and labor. Towers of glass that reach the heavens. Safe nights with no dark shadows. Busy streets well traveled. And in the laws of these emotionally satisfied people, it reads, all lives are equal. Whoa. I see. No magic, no tribal conflict, and equality for all? It really does sound like a fantasy. But it's strange to feel envious of a fictional world. Hey, are you asleep already? You know how hard it is for me to turn these pages on my own? Well, guess I'll just read more later. Good night.
Thanks for the sub. Oh my god, there's a day cycle in this game? It really is Persona. Record the events thus far. Certainly, I would love to. This is a really interesting setup. I'm genuinely fascinated by this.